Hi guys, today I'm here with my monthly favorites video, the last one for 2019, showing you everything that I loved throughout the month of December. As always, I'll have a Best in Beauty coming where I wrap up everything that I love throughout the year. I'm going to do a specific one on foundations and I think one on skincare as well. And then I also plan on doing a kind of overview and wrap up of everything that I reviewed during the 12 days of foundation. But today we are talking about the month of December, so let's go ahead and get started. So something that I want to quickly mention, if you missed it, I did an 8 looks, 8 eyeshadow palettes video featuring the new Fenty Snap Shadow palettes. Not gonna lie, I have not been wearing really any makeup over Christmas, so I haven't had a lot more time to play with them, but today I did reach for this again because this was the palette that intrigued me and excited me the most, and it's in the shade Cadet. So I think that this has some really gorgeous shades. I talk about it more in that video. I'll link it down below. Kind of reminded me of the Subculture palette. I used the olive green on my eyes today and I do really like the look that I got. It's still the palette that I find myself wanting to reach for and wanting to play with. Do I think it's the best quality out of all of the palettes or the best pairing of shades? Maybe not, because the shades can be a little bit more difficult to work with, but I like them. So I don't know, I'm hesitant to say like this is a favorite of mine, but I did just kind of want to mention that, like the dark neutrals, the peaches, the rose, those are all great solid palettes and nothing wrong with those. But like I said in the review, this was definitely one that is a little bit different to other palettes that I own. So yeah, not a favorite, but very intrigued by this palette. But something that is a favorite and that I used to go under the olive green to really make it pop is this Stila shadow. And this one is in the shade Enchanted Earth. And over the past like 6-7 months, I've really fallen in love with green on my eyes, especially like olivey greens. And this makes a really beautiful base. I've never been one to put down like, you know, a milk, what was that? Milk chunky whatever it was pencil from NYX back in the day. I've never been one for like really intense white eyeshadow primers. I like to do either just a regular eyeshadow primer or a beige one or something that matches the eyeshadow that I'm putting on, and this just makes me like want to wear green even more. It's easy to work with, it's not glittery like their original formula, it's more of a matte finish. They've got a bunch of beautiful shades and I really love this, and I think you could maybe wear it on its own, I'm not totally sure, but I loved the way that it helped me work with the Fenty palette. This is a lip product that I absolutely love. I've mentioned probably before, but I don't know if I've mentioned it enough to really extend to you how much I love it. It's the CoverGirl Melting Pout Matte, and this is one of my absolute staple lipsticks. I pair this with the ColourPop BFF3 lip liner all the time. Sometimes I do a lighter peachy lip. Today it's a little bit darker because I put on a little bit more lip liner and a lip gloss, but it's just a shade that, like, I used to wear Kat Von D's Lolita non-stop, and then things started getting like a little dramatic, so I was like, I'm gonna step away from that publicly and just see if I can find something else. I was still wearing Lolita on the side because like I owned it, but yeah, this is definitely one that kind of took its place. It's definitely more peachy. I don't ever really wear it on its own without a lip liner, but that's how I get my favorite looks. And if you've yet to introduce lip liner into your makeup, it really makes a difference if you can find a shade like me. For me, it's ColourPop BFF3 that just adds that little bit of definition, makes lighter nude shades work better. It really changed the game for me, and it really enhanced the lip looks that I have. So I have a favorite like rosy brownie lip liners video that I'll link to down below. But yeah, this is just really a favorite of mine. Another lip product that I've been loving is from Burt's Bees. These are launching in January, but you may see them out already. This is their hydrating lip oil, and this has passion fruit oil in it. I am such a huge fan of passion fruit. After doing like quite a bit of traveling in the Caribbean, it is much more prominent there. Like in Antigua, they have this passion fruit sorbet that Nems and I are so obsessed with, and I feel like it's an underutilized fragrance or scent here in North America. And like, we've bought passion fruit in North America, we've never eaten it properly, and it's never as good as when we get it down south, obviously. But I love that they've come out with a passion fruit scent. Like, I could just, it just is floor, like perfumey, but really fruity in this really interesting way, and not perfumey in a bad way. It is super hydrating. I would say because it's a lip oil and it's a little bit on the thinner side, it doesn't last on your lips for like a million years, but like it's a great purse item. It does feel really hydrating. It does give like a nice juicy look to the lips, and it feels really good, and it smells amazing. The other scent is like an almond oil, I think it is. That one smells like cake, so they're both great. For foundation, I have been using the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation basically non-stop. I got a lot of questions obviously about like, what's your favorite foundation from the 12 Days of Foundation? And like for me, I rarely have a favorite. Like it depends what I'm using. Like I'm a makeup junkie. I'm like, do I want to wear light coverage today? Do I want to wear full coverage, etc., etc. But definitely a foundation that I found myself reaching for time and time again after the 12 Days of Foundation, and I had been wearing it quite a bit before, is the Shiseido. So I gotta say, I really enjoyed this. There was a lot of questions about this. I don't see a ton about Shiseido, I feel like more recently. So it's not really a brand that I had played with. It has a really good shade range. In Canada, it's available in store and online at Shoppers and Hudson Bay, and only online for Sephora Canada. But yeah, I gotta say, I really enjoyed this. I think it has a beautiful medium coverage, natural finish, lasts really beautiful on the skin, looks great in person and on film, and yeah, it's just all around a really, really good foundation. Definitely high end. I think it was about 60 bucks when I bought it, but I've thoroughly been enjoying it. For foundation application, you know I love my sponges, my Wet n Wild, like Rose blush brush, but I also picked this up. This was over a year ago now because I got it when I got the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. It's the NYX brush, I don't even know what it is, in 03. We'll call it the Jackie Aina brush because this is the brush that she uses to apply her foundation, and it's probably because she has great skin and like the foundation matches really nicely, but just the look of her applying foundation to her face is something else. I don't know what it is and why it looks so good, but it prompted me to want this brush, and I gotta say, it's a really beautiful brush. I've used it with lots of different liquid foundations. I'll find the like official name of it and link it down below. It almost seems more like a powder brush than it does a liquid foundation brush or even powder foundation. But some of those brushes actually end up being really good for liquids because they kind of like buff it out a little bit more than something that's dense, and it allows you to build a little bit easier too. So yeah, definitely glad I picked this up. I hadn't used it a ton because I use sponges most of the time, but I have been reaching for it recently and really liking it, even though I bought it a year ago and it's taken me this long to get to it. So during the marathon that was my 8 eyeshadow looks, 8 eyeshadow palettes video or whatever that was, I wore this mascara, and the reason I reached for this was, first of all, I was curious because I love Maybelline mascaras. It's the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift. It is launching kind of as we speak / in January. Again, with drugstore products, it really kind of depends. But this is supposed to be like a more washable mascara, and I never had issues with smudging or transferring or anything like that. But what I noticed was it gave me a great lash look, like tons of length, tons of volume, super black, and really like you don't even need to build it. Like some mascaras I love, but you really kind of have to build the layers. This one you barely have to build, but in removing it, especially where I had to remove it technically 9 times because I had a look on before that video, then I did 8 eyeshadow looks and then removed it, this actually removed easily. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword because you want your mascara to last, obviously, but then you don't want to like rip your eyelashes out in the removal process. When removing any eyeshadow or any mascaras, I always just hold the pad over my eyes for like 10 seconds, for example, or if I have like a cleansing balm or something, I'll kind of rub it into my lashes and let it sit there to kind of break the product down. But I have to say, this really did remove nicely, gently. So if you have sensitive eyes or something like that, I'm not sure about the actual formula, but if you have sensitivity based on like removing things, this could be a great option. But at the same time, it didn't like smudge all over my face either, which is like equally important. So my skin is the worst it's been in probably 2 years, and I'm honestly having a hard time because I have been through this so many times and I'm so sick of it, and I don't want to get into all the details and what medication are you taking and what are you doing and have you tried this and have you tried that, because that is all very daunting. If you have acne, you know how much of a toll it can take to have the acne on your face, because first of all, it's painful and sore, so you have that reminder all the time. Then obviously you feel like people are looking at you whether or not they are or not, and people are giving you unsolicited advice all the time. So it's just tiring, and I'm pretty freaking sick of it. And I know sometimes people don't like when I say I don't want advice, and I get it, I guess, but like I don't, like I'm figuring it out, and there's only so much advice I can take, because if I have 10 people comment on this video, whatever. It's a whole thing. So if you are going through the struggle of acne and, you know, you're an adult and you're like, I thought this part of my life was over, I fully understand how frustrating it is and how frustrating it can be. And even though sometimes people are trying to be nice and stuff, it's just overwhelming and tiring. So this is a whole big thing. But because my skin has been really disrespectful to me lately. These are both products that I've used a bunch, but I've definitely been kind of introducing more into my routine lately. So the CeraVe SA Cleanser, which is their salicylic acid cleanser, it's non-comedogenic, no microbeads, fragrance-free, and I've also been trying to introduce the 60-second cleanse into my skincare routine. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's been recommended and seems like proven that if you wash your face for the full 60 seconds, it can have really, really beneficial results. Also, if you're using a cleanser that has things like active ingredients in there, you're giving it a little bit more time to sit on your face. So I really love this cleanser. And then I've also brought back in, this is the older packaging, but a classic product, the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid. I don't always pair these together because they're both salicylic acid. It's going to depend on your skin type. You also want to make sure you're moisturizing your skin and not drying it out when you have acne. But for me, my acne is very hormonal, so there's only so much topically that I can do because it is more hormonal and more cystic. You know, it's almost never a foundation or whatever it might be. It's something going on in my body. So there's only so much topically I can do, but I feel like those have been helping me. And depending on the type of acne you have, that may help you as well. So I wanted to point those out, and that was all very long-winded, but I don't know, I feel like I could do a whole video on acne. It's just so tiring, and unless you have it, it's just hard to grasp because it seems like something that's so superficial and that's just, you know, it's on your skin, it's not that bad, or it's super bad, or people are telling you not to wear makeup or not to wear highlighter, not to do this, not to do that, are you drinking water, la la la. But it's a physical thing. It's something that, you know, if you had any other like ailment on your body, you would want to treat it the same way, but for some reason it's seen differently. Holy wow, okay, I'm gonna move on. So something that I love is from Cake. This is the Milkmaid Totally to Die For Sugared Cream Body Milk Scrub, and this is totally to die for. I love everything that I've tried from Cake. They're a Canadian brand available at Shoppers, made in Canada, cruelty-free, vegan. This is free of parabens, phthalates, mineral oil, petroleum, trichosan, I don't even know what that is. It has oat milk concentrate, marshmallow root extract, shea butter. It smells amazing, leaves your skin feeling so soft. So normally with a scrub, I'll use a scrub first, it depends. Sometimes I use a scrub first and then go in with my body wash, but this one I use a body wash first, then go in with this, because this recommends not to rinse it off too much. It leaves your skin feeling so soft, so smooth. It has oils in there. So at first I was kind of like, the pieces of scrub in it are kind of too big to feel like I'm getting exfoliation, but the way it left my skin feeling was so good. It's a little bit kind of cumbersome because it is like a bag you need to keep in your shower and like scoop out, but yeah, oh, they've come out with some body products recently that are incredible. And then lastly, for my hair, I have been wearing a blowout a lot during the winter because I've started wearing hats, and if you have curly hair and you never really wear hats, like, I can't believe how much warmer I am with a hat. Like, I'm blown away because I've always worn like air muffs and things like that, so it doesn't actually keep the top of your head warm. It's more about, not only about keeping the top of your head warm, but also your body. Like a lot of heat can escape from your head. So I've been wearing a lot of hats recently, but when I have been wearing curls, I've been using this to refresh my second day curls and loving it. I picked it up in the States. I haven't seen it in Canada because Shea Moisture is now available at Shoppers Drug Mart, some Loblaws, and Walmart, and also like beauty supply stores. You might be able to get this at a beauty supply store, but this is the Coconut and Hibiscus Frizz-Free Curl Mousse, but I would kind of consider it a foam. It's super, super light, and I feel like when on second or third day curls, if I wet my hair a little bit with my mister, just some water, and then add this in, I feel like it gives a really beautiful kind of refresh to my curls. I haven't used it on day one curls. I generally like to use something a little bit heavier, but I've been really, really enjoying that. I think I picked it up at Target in Buffalo a few months back. So there you have it. That is everything I love this month, plus a mini acne rant. I haven't filmed in a while. I took a little Christmas break. I had plans on filming over Christmas and I'm sorry that I didn't, but Nims got really sick, so I was kind of focusing on him and then used his sickness as an opportunity to take a break for myself so that I too don't get sick after the 12 days of foundation and all the videos, etc, etc. But I am back now, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!